Slaymates, and welcome back to the channel. For those of you that are new here, I'm Kimmy. If you've seen some of my other content, you know that I like to take the piss out of scammers for funsies. But when these scammers do manage to find a victim, things can get out of hand and kind of dark. Besides draining the bank accounts for their digital love interests, victims can go to desperate lengths to please the phony objects of their fancy. We will be talking about one such story today. So, grab your libation of choice and let's address this mess. This is Roxanne Doucette, a 64-year-old woman of Townsend, Massachusetts. She's in a little bit of hot water, or hot soup as we'll learn later, for allegedly trying to turn her husband into a husband by poisoning him. Why would she allegedly do such a thing? Roxanne was exchanging messages with someone she believed to be Thorsten Kaye, a star on the daytime soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful. Now, of all the types of catfish scammers that people tend to fall for, doctors, military, and engineers being the most common, I'm always just flabbergasted when people fall for celebrity catfish scammers. I mean, just the fact that they represent themselves as somebody ridiculously good looking and worth millions, they not only convince victims that, despite the looks and prestige that would allow them to pull anyone that they want, that they're legitimately interested in some Joe or Jane schmo from bumblefuck nowhere, but they also convince them to send them money. Like the $8,000 Thorsten convinced Roxanne, who's been married to her husband Paul Doucette for 45 years, to send. Now, that $8,000 wasn't enough to sate the scammer. Thorsten wanted more. On December 1st, 2023, Thorsten messaged Roxanne, "You have to get rid of your husband, honey. I need you so much." Now, instead of being horrified at the suggestion like most of us would be, Roxanne said that she needed to think about it. Later, she told Thorsten that she had made a soup with a special potion, and that her husband was not feeling well after eating the soup. She also said that maybe she could collect the life insurance. The plot thickens while the soup sickens.
Boo! You stink!
Paul began acting strangely and became unresponsive. Roxanne called emergency services, who took Paul to Neshoba Valley Medical Center. Roxanne and Paul's daughter, Nicole Heath, asked her father what happened when he got sick. Paul told Nicole that he ate a soup that Roxanne made that tasted bitter. While Nicole was in the hospital with her parents, she saw the ominous text exchange on her mother's phone and called police. After both Nicole and Roxanne talked to police, Roxanne refused to hand over her phone and tablet. Then, while police tried to detain her for interfering with an investigation, Roxanne kicked one of the officers in the crotch, which added resisting arrest and assault and battery on a police officer charges to the attempted murder charge. She also got a witness intimidation charge, but it's unclear where that stems from. Paul thankfully survived. His toxicology screen came back clear, but for whatever reason, he was only tested for opiates, cocaine, and alcohol, which that seems kind of like a big old oversight to me, but I mean, what would I know? Roxanne then went on to violate an abuse prevention order for trying to contact Paul, leading to yet another charge against her. Roxanne had maintained her innocence, emphasizing what a great cook that she is, and that possibly Paul had had a stroke. Now, how much jail time do you think Roxanne got for the attempted alleged poisoning, abuse prevention order violation, and the cop crotch kicking? None. She pled guilty to violating the abuse prevention order, and all of the other charges were dropped. The judge sentenced her to 1 year probation, and she was never formally charged with attempted murder. She has since cut off contact with Thorsten. Now, that was certainly a wild story, and just kind of keeps in mind to, maybe keep an eye on those people that are a little, could be vulnerable in your life, whether they're just not very tech savvy or they might be a little gullible. But do you think that justice was served? Let me know in the comments below. And if you're so inclined, gently stroke the like and subscribe buttons and stimulate that algorithm. And until it's time to come slay with me, go slay with yourselves. Bye!